Another season, another coach. That is the life of Ghana midfielder Mohamed Kudus' professional career since leaving Danish side FC Nordsjælland, joining Dutch giants Ajax Amsterdam after bidding farewell to a member club of the Right to Dream football conglomerate. Kudus played under 4 head coaches in arguably the most tumultuous period in Ajax's history. Kudus had a great start to life by winning the Dutch Cup and 2 Eredivisie titles under Erik ten Hag. However, the Dutch trainer's exit to Man United signaled the carousel of head coaches for the Black Stars player as Ajax descended into utter chaos. Alfred Schreuder, John Heitinga, and Maurice Stijn had brief stints as Ajax head coach with Kudus in tow. Schreuder served as the lead trainer for 26 games, while Heitinga oversaw 22 games and Maurice Stijn oversaw 11 games as Ajax head coach. Kudus joined West Ham United in the 2023-2024 season and has played under David Moyes and the recently sacked Julen Lopetegui. With former Chelsea manager Graham Potter taking over the reins at the Hammers, Kudus will play under his 7th club head coach. Unfortunately for the 24-year-old, there is no reprieve from this head coaching chaos in the national team either, because Kudus has played under James Kwesi Appiah, CK Akono, Milovan Rajevac, Chris Hughton, and Otto Addo at the Black Stars. Despite enduring a terrible time at Chelsea, Graham Potter is viewed as a great hire looking at his brilliant run at Swansea City and Brighton and Hove Albion, having developed wildly talented creative wingers like Karu Mitoma and Daniel James, and having previously worked with Ghanaian players Tariq Lamptey, Andre Ayew, and Jordan Ayew. Hiring Potter looks to be a great fit for Kudus at West Ham. Running through 3 head coaches in 2 seasons is far from ideal, and West Ham's top hierarchy would definitely hope Potter's appointment comes with the stability needed to hone the wildly talented Mohamed Kudus into an elite star.
All right, so that's a report put together by my colleague Yao J. Minta, just chronicling the managers Kudus has got to work with, both national team and club side. For club side, he gets to work with Graham Potter. Yeah, Graham Potter. And I'm sure Kudus will be one of the players that is really excited after West Ham sack Julen Lopetegui. Dressing room conversations were not really good. They were not really good. Guys, let me start off with you. No, let me start off with you, Yao. Oh. You put together that report. Yeah. Kudus gets to work with Graham Potter again. What does this mean for him?
Well, it gives him the chance to have a little bit of stability, especially when it comes to his role. At this point in his career, it is clear that Mohamed Kudus is a little bit leaning towards being a support striker or being that guy who plays in that hole behind the striker. And when you look at the Graham Potter's formations, he changes formations a lot. But the ones that he usually rolls out in games, you have his teams lining out in a 3-4-2-1 formation. And in that
3-4-2-1.
3-4-2-1 formation. And I've always advocated this for even the Black Stars, that 3-4-2-1. You have Mohamed Kudus playing not necessarily as an out-and-out winger, but you have him playing as a more or less like an inside forward.
Yeah, so he gets to tuck in.
Yes, he gets to tuck in, but not on the right side, but on the left side. Even if you play him on the right or on the left side, where he operates in an orthodox form, because he's not operating as a traditional winger, it takes a lot of pressure off him, and it allows him to roam a little bit, gives him a little bit of freedom as an inside forward. That helps him naturally, his game at this point in his career. And if you play him as a support striker, let's say in a 3-4-1-2 formation, with, let's say, Lucas Paqueta playing in that hole behind the 2 forwards, and you play Mohamed Kudus on the right side of that 2-man combo up front, you really help him, because he's played as a false 9 at Ajax before he moved over to West Ham, and you take a lot of defensive pressure off him. Look at that West Ham Liverpool game. Was it the first goal? Yes, the first goal that Luis Diaz scored. Mohamed Kudus' defensive positioning was off. It was totally wrong, and that allowed Luis Diaz all that space and time to be able to attempt that pass. And luckily, the ball came back to Luis Diaz, and he just smashed it into the net. So for me, Graham Potter's appointment, it really should spell some good form for Mohamed Kudus, because it's not been the best of seasons from Kudus so far. It started very poorly, very challenging. Now looking up a little bit, and with Potter coming in, I honestly believe he will be able to kick to that level where he was operating at last season, and potentially even go beyond that and become
good replacement for Kudus
and
the team in its entirety.
Yeah, good news for Kudus. Good news for Kudus. Good news for West Ham, because Graham Potter he has done some fairly good work, and I think the Chelsea job at the time he took it was a little bit of a step too far.
He was never ready for that job.
Yeah, and the timing was wrong, because
I don't think anyone could have done a good job at Chelsea.
Yeah, because
at that time.
At that time, because
it's a matter of how badly they would do.
Yeah.
Yes, because they were coming off winning the Champions League not too long ago, and so
Thomas Tuchel.
Yes, and this is not like Enzo Maresca coming in on the back of Pochettino, more or less stabilizing the ship a little bit, and expectations not being too high.
So he started on a clean slate because the season was over.
Yes.
Came in, took charge.
Again, it's all about expectations. Lopetegui has been sacked because they weren't meeting expectations. And now Graham Potter went to Chelsea when expectations were high. It's not like now. So once you have West Ham a little bit having their expectations lowered, now it's a good time to make a step to a club like that. Okay,
so speaking of expectations, Hilary Lopetegui was brought in to take West Ham to the next level. And before he came in, the West Ham, he came in on the back, I think their success in the Conference League with David Moyes.
And even in 2 Europa League semi-finals.
Yes, 2 Europa League semi-finals.
So they went to a semi-final
before
the first time.
The first time.
Then they went to the Conference League, won it, back to the Europa League semi-final.
Yeah, so they were thinking that this is...
Even in David Moyes last season, they made it to the Europa League quarter final. And they lost to Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, they lost to
Leverkusen. Quarter final. They lost to Bayer Leverkusen.
So this is the manager who was brought in to take this team to the next level. And there's this start clouding over him. After just 22 games, he's been shown the exit door. Graham Potter has been brought in. Some of the things that led to his sacking was a lack of tactical identity in his team, falling out with a lot of these players. Kudus is in there, Jean-Claude Todibo, Alfonso Areola. And these are like top names in that West Ham team.
And they also spent a lot of money bringing Todibo in just this season to be their starting centre-back, and you're already falling out.
You're signing Fulkrug.
That one, I think, is the sporting director.
What are you expecting from Graham Potter? I'm saying this because, then again, one of the things that led to the sacking of Hilary Lopetegui is falling out with players.
I can't recall Potter having any scandal or issue that we've heard about in the media that he and a player had a bust up or anything. I can't remember hearing that. If I remember correctly, one of his actual biggest skills is supposedly his man management. Apparently, he's even studied human emotion and psychology and that kind of stuff. So he takes those personal relationships very seriously. And I think he's also going to be sure about his tactical identity. He has a way he wants the team to play. The shape might change from game to game, but he's very sure about how he wants the team to play. We are hearing reports that Lopetegui would coach them possession style during the week, and then on game day, tell them that they are playing a counter-attacking style. And look, you can't do that. You can't prepare for war in a certain way. Then when you get to the battlefield, do something different. It doesn't work like that. You will never succeed. So, and I think Lopetegui just didn't believe in himself, because that shows a lack of belief in your methods. Because why would you train a certain way the whole week, then on match day you say, you know what, let's do something else?
They said in the players they sit there, they were just confused.
Why would you be confused? Why would you be confused? So look, I think Graham Potter on the man management side, these bust-ups and things, he'll be much better. On the tactical side, I think he also believes in his methods. Whether his methods are the best for this squad is a different matter. But at least playing the same way every week, committing to it, makes the team a lot better. Look at even Manchester United. As they are trying to get into the Amorim Apeke vibe, we are seeing that their Liverpool match, they are getting better. They've had more time to train. They looked better.
Yeah.
These things, they take time. You can't just come and just expect to play a certain way just off the cuff. But luckily for West Ham, I always say this, there's a lot of teams that are worse than them. They won't go down. Yeah. So Potter has enough time to come in, try and do his methods, implement them, and see how it goes. So okay. I think he's come at a good time, because another thing is that the research has shown that if you want a change of a manager to affect your team, it needs to happen early. The earlier, the better. And the worst, once you make that change after game week 34, it doesn't even change anything. You are very likely, if you are trying to escape relegation, you get relegated.
Yeah, this is obviously a very good.
It's a good
change
time,
by the
and it's also in January. You can maybe move some players, shift some things around, do something interesting. So, and I think they should buy a striker. I think because of Antonio's long-term injury and at his age, I don't think he's going to come back there. Premier League career, unfortunately, is finished. I think for him to be starting, it's going to be very difficult. So another striker coming in will be very important. I think it's a move West Ham should make.